And I believe I speak for every man in the world when I say no man will settle with anything or anyone they feel like is unstable. They need to have seen you at your grave, at your holy grail, at your mid. The man wants to know you for who you really are, because the way I'm wired is I must solve your problem.
Yeah.
So if I know G keeps grabbing my ass, my problem is I must go solve G.
Exactly.
So what's the point of you telling me if you don't want me to do anything? I want you to listen up.
You know, if there's one thing that is going to see the kind of person that you deal with is how you need to see how they treat themselves. Self-respect. I'm telling you right now that if someone respects themselves that well, they wouldn't embarrass themselves first before you feel embarrassed by whatever the action that they
give him your chef jacket.
Right?
He's cooking.
So we live in a society where women tend to want to do what men do.
Now that's where we are on.
So it immediately just fucks with everything. Whatever
Yo, welcome to it, man. This is a Global Streetz Live, aka GSL podcast, and we are so glad to be with you today. Shout out to you for tuning in. My name is Karen the uncle from the ghetto, doing big things in the city. We're wrapping up 2023 the only way we know how to. In this episode, we are talking about MJOLO. In case you don't know what that is, Kimojolo, aka relationships. And to my left, which is your right, is Witty, aka OG, aka the man who knows all, aka the man who should go easy, cause waho easy. And it's LSG on my right, which is your left. The man who I wish had a less ego, because he will take you like an rose. That sounded dope in my head. It's whack. On the other side of the camera, man, it is our Batman, our Dark Knight, our Nambane, our KG, Kakiso, and I'm only going in depth because we call each other with a plethora of names. So we want you to know who we're referring to when that happens. But despite everything else, man, we have a VVIP, which is you, the Street Squad. Shout out to you for joining us, from day one. Shout out to you for subscribing, commenting, even if you're new. Oh, VVIP, you don't even need to buy subscription in here. And thank you, man, for your time. It's going to be an absolutely amazing episode, but before we get to where we're going, show boys, what's going on?
was good.
What's popping? Are the boys nice?
We nice.
Also, what I forgot to say, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can hear us coming down the street like the ice cream man. The summer, come on, open with it. So we speak about something that's really dear to all of our hearts, but just before we delve into it, Majida Kalikan.
I'm not. I'm Jojo. I'm not.
Batman, you nice there with your naked?
Oh, good.
Happy here. We're going straight into it, man. We're not having a weekly recap. We're doing it with freestyling like the only way we know how to. Let's talk about MJOLO, Mjolo, relationships. Now, I think not even only for 2023, we have whatever years of experience we have, because I don't want to name drop anyone's age. Rejoicing, and it rookery. During your lunch break or tea break is like 15 minutes. And today is the episode where basically we are saying to you, here's a courtesy, get to know us, get to know what we've been through, and hopefully for you it means something, because we just make you realize that we're just as human as you are.
True.
Besides the bad man who's behind there, I'm sure he's got even more interesting stories. So we're about to go into relationships. First of all, is anyone and everyone who is present in the studio today consenting to being vulnerable before we go any further?
Masambi.
I think it just happens automatically.
Namein, you nice? You ready to go into this conversation?
Certain.
I'm going to go into every man's nightmare. Now, before we start it off, which is how we're going to start it off, every man's nightmare is after an amazing night or after an amazing date, a young Google asks you, so, what are we? What does that sentence do to you?
Yeah. You know, in most cases, man, they know. They just want a different answer.
Hoping for a different answer.
They know.
You just fuck buddies.
Oh!
But after some good D, Google comes back.
You want to keep this D.
What are we?
But also, what if I give you the best doggy I've ever given?
It doesn't matter. We fuck buddies. Shit. Google wants something more than that. Then the question comes, what are we?
I think it depends on when you ask the question.
Okay.
Because you do get some girls that are going to ask you the question before.
No, but it usually comes after for the first time.
Yeah, it normally comes.
And if it slaps, I'm like, what are we?
Yeah, and
you would know.
And now we need to, if you get the question.
Sorry, Yusuf.
If you get the question, it's like a backpatreka, man. Yeah.
You know? No, man.
Backpatreka and
like a python's bite.
You're gonna get the question from someone that is very confident that they gave you a good tap. So they want you to think about the answer. They want you to think about the answer because you're gonna have to think what yes.
Do you want to give away
such a great talent? So I need to be very careful about the answer that I'm about to give.
But just to switch it a bit,
sure.
Do you think that question is genuinely because they feel like they want to start something, or
I'm a girl, you can ask me
because of guilty, because
he
had it so
okay, sweet. I will tell you. We asked so what are we? It's because from get-go, I liked you. I like you. I want to be with you, Queetsy. And then you are like to me, let's go with the flow.
Yeah.
And I am in denial because if you're a girl, you already know that if a guy wants you, he will make it clear. And if he's beating around the bush, it's because he doesn't like you, but just because you don't want to admit that you lost. You want to show him your value, which is already a loss. Because if he doesn't, the truth of the matter is any guy who decides to settle, it's not the most prettiest or smartest girl. It's because he just feels at home with her. And you can't convince him into that. It's a moment thing. It's a momental thing. That's what I mean. So if I'm asking you, what are we? I am saying to you indirectly, I met you at first glance. I felt like you were everything I needed. You didn't give me the vibe back. I gave myself a 3-week trial to give you a clue of what I can do. So, when a woman says to you, what are we? She's saying, I've given you a month or so to see what I can do. Do you fuck with it or not? It's like a Netflix trial. The first month is free, but after that, you gotta pay. You gotta decide where, actually, you know what? Netflix, you gave me a month. I watched your content is not that dope. I'm out. But we also put in a tip of that. Are you gonna be a dick and fuck me for free? Or are you actually gonna stay with you? So when we ask you that, we know we gave you a good time for sure.
The reason it's
or the best we can do.
That question is mainly posed by a woman. Is that they that decides?
You are.
No, listen to it. We put in the application, you decide to accept it or not. So now it's difficult whereby we don't put in the application and you feel confused.
Give him your chef jacket, he's cooking.
Yeah. Then you feel confused that, okay, he didn't put in any application, but I'm giving him whatever he needs. Then what is this?
And I don't like that because the nature of how it works is you put in an application, I credit check you and I vet you and I'm like, yeah, no, that's something. So when I give it up too soon, without the security, because if anything about a woman, it's the security more than anything. I
think also that the question of what are we also comes from that.
Security. I'm a woman, guys. We don't even need to deal. I'm here. I'll answer your question.
You would like security. You like to be secured and know where you stand.
Yes.
That is the essence of a woman I can be disrespectful, sweet. I can be whatever I want to be as long as I know my place in your life.
True.
Because if I do not know my place in your life, I do not know how to act. I cannot act accordingly, because if I'm just the screw, then I know that I can't come to your family thing. I can't show up like this. I can't, if you don't answer my call, I can't trip. So I want to act, but I can't act until you inhibit or let me do what I want to do. So that is why, in the essence of anything, if you fail to give me the clarity of what we're doing in the beginning, I'm going to give you a Netflix free trial into that's what I can do, so what are we? Because when a woman will never ask you, what are we, if she knows that she didn't put her best foot forward. And the sad part, or the most gut-wrenching part, is when my best to you is just mediocre. It's like, what are we, dog? It's like when a girl says to you, what are we? You're like, we are the world, we are the truth. Hey, Sarafina, really fair, babe. Sorry, Sarafina. Which is what a lot of men won't openly say, because you know I'm manipulating you into breaking my heart so that 10 years later I can still say, yo,
Fucking dick.
yeah. So you have also say that because you're like, I don't want to be the dick. I'm going to say, baby, I love you, but it's complicated. I don't love my wife. We just sleep together.
Let me ask you a
We're
quick
doing
question.
it for the kids.
Let me ask you a quick question as a girl amongst us, right?
Yeah.
So when you get a question, when you get an answer of someone that says, I don't like labels, why do we have to have a label?
I know that nigga.
thing.
I know that nigga is either with someone they want and they're going through a tough time, or he's still pursuing the one he wants. Because a nigga that wants you is softer than a soft dick for you. A nigga that wants you and is sure about you, it goes back to his innocence when he was 1, 2, 3. Do you know how annoying men are when they are young and gullible before anything? They are so sweet, like my sons. They will follow me everywhere. Men, when they love you and they were at their most authentic, their ego doesn't matter. And even if you just, I don't want to talk to you, like, baby, what's wrong? But when you see a man's ego present in a situation, you know that he's not sure about you. So if I'm in a point where I'm at limbo, it's because I can see glimpses of your ego. And I can tell you this for free, because one of the cheat codes as a woman is see how he treats the most in the hierarchy. See how he treats the most pivotal women in his life, the most important women. I can tell you for free that when you speak to your mama, you don't say yeah, or you're like, hey, mommy, how? You know what I mean? And I start to see how you treat them and how you speak about them, and I relate it to me. And that's a cheat code in case you don't know and you're growing up. How he treats his mom, his sisters, is how he's taught to treat and interact with the hierarchical women at the highest point in the hierarchy in his life. So look at how he treats his mom. If his mom is home and no one is opening the gate, he'll panic to go open because that's the queen, you know? And if you've known or seen that and you don't see it, that's how you know he doesn't care, because men are not faithful because they put effort into it. It's because you click the switch in them that compels that behavior.
Now, here's a question for you, Karen. You twerk for a random DJ.
Okay, we go in there. We're cooking. Let's go.
Chef Jack
Want the same treatment as the queen of his life, which is his mother. Because you've heard the saying that a man looks for his mother in a woman.
True.
Something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
Facts, yeah.
That's like, are you cooking?
So now you're twerking to a random DJ or the Tlakana Club or wherever, where my mother.
I like what you asked me. Okay, sharp.
Then you're gonna want me to treat you the same as my mother.
I love that question.
So now you know deep down.
I think this is
Ubula savana kameno. Then otobata ko fe that prince.
Kana marita fo.
Nah.
I am
okay. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give you guys a generous serving of what we call humble pie, or AKA reality, right? So I like that you asked me that question, because I've been in a similar situation. So I'm gonna give you guys context and everyone else who are VVIPs,
True.
the Street Squad. So in a certain year of my life, a dear friend and sister of mine called Candace Midisele posted a video of me at Brown Sugar in Maponya dancing to Bagwala. That video went viral. So it was at a point in my life where we were just chilling as girls, and I was like, "Bah, wala." I put a champagne flute in my mouth, and I was, trust me, I went in, right? And I was wearing a nice makoti kind of dress, you know. I looked like a church girl in that video because we were having a brunch, but we had a moment. And she posted the video because she's big, and it went like worldwide. At that time, I think I had 1K followers. But at the end of that, I was like 8K followers on Instagram. I went over 20K on TikTok because of that video. And I was in a serious relationship. I was at that party with my then sister-in-law. And we didn't think much of it because we knew I wasn't a whore. We just had an intimate girls moment that she consented and asked me to come. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. That's who I am with my girls, and I'm comfortable.
True.
On Facebook, even if you can search that video today, people say, guys, I'm telling you for free. Ke mosadi wa pastor or who just gave us a sermon right now. I'm telling you. And I'm like, no, wait, what? I read those comments and I was like, this is not who I am. And 3-4 months after that video, I got engaged to get married. And that guy went because he knew. And let me tell you, the day he proposed, his elder sister come and said, Abo mama babule kaya bahlale putin. That's the first thing she said to me, instead of congratulations or whatever. But that gent was sure that that's not who Karen is. I know what Karen can do, and you know what I mean? And that's different for a woman who's in the spotlight, because you know that popularity can get me to being well known.
True.
But it doesn't necessarily mean at the essence of everything that's who I am. And I think we've gotten to a point as my brothers where I feel like, you know, that Karen has a certain thing, but there's a certain place or flavor that Karen brings that brings stability. And I feel as a guy, I've learned because of you guys that the ego is detrimental to a man. His perception and what people say about the women in his life is everything. But I still thank that man up until today, because the family viewed me as this one person. And then everybody else, all the other women in the family were like, do you know who she actually is? Because that moment helped her get eyes. But that's not who she is. By the way, this is what she does. This is what she did. Right now, watch ETV. You'll find her. And then she went back into a shell because she came at me out of the perception of, you're going to make my brother look like an idiot. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm a girl who vividly would like to be who I naturally am, and which for most people is a lot, because it kind of like, you're messing with my perception as Mchita, because you kind of delve into the things that the crazy girls would do, but you actually aren't. And I'm like, then that means that I bring an element in your life where you need to be sure about yourself and what you want in such a way that, like, yeah, I mean, brown sugar, I pity. Because I remember there was this one American guy, I was going through the comments, guys. This video blew up in such a way that I was being tagged by American. You can literally go on my Instagram and check the tagged option. You know, like, you have the tag option. I'm tagged so many times on video. Till today, I have friends who are in America that say, people can't believe I'm friends with a Bagwala girl. And I'm just like, but that's not who I am. If you want to have a good time, I want to have a good time, but it's time to work and it's time to work. But in that moment, he was so sure and secure in who he knew I was, and he was sure and steadfast in that. So I can't really say, it means, it doesn't mean.
But now, who was judging you? Was it the man or the woman?
The one woman, not the man, because the man knew who I was.
So if you look at things holistically, people that generally judge women
are women.
It's women. So when I thought about full stop, this rule go, hi, Karen, you're not the right fit for me. He saw you as the right fit. Then people were judging you from your incident, whatever took place. It's other women. Men won't do that.
Yeah.
You understand? So we will make that idea from the onset of, this one's not the right fit. She's just a snack. Well, this one's the right fit. She can be the main. Thereafter, once you've made our decision, any other judgments, it's from Because remember, essentially, that's why a woman is like a backbone. So you refer to the sisters, the mother, that could be his backbones. Puti, this one's not right for you.
I have a quick question for you, Karen, and probably you're tired.
Yo, is this episode about me? Because I'm with so many guys and they need closure for what women are doing.
That's why I'm saying you're probably tired of speaking, but I'm gonna have to bring it back to you. When the sisters or the women in the guy's life, they were judging you.
That's one, because the others, he has like 5 sisters and only one came at me and the others were like, you don't know her like that. So you don't have the right to make that assumption.
Do you judge her though? The one that was judging you, do you judge him?
No. Because she was just like, he's my baby brother. And if his perception is going to be around being with quote unquote a loose girl, then what the fuck because she didn't know me like that. And all the others that were present in defending me are the ones who took the time to know me. And those are the ones that saw me a lot. They're like, oh, no. And I was lucky enough because one of the most powerful sisters, I actually invited her to go with me on the day. So when we were shooting like the video, she's behind me saying,
yeah.
So it's like, nah, we were having a girl's moment. It's posted by a girl.
It's not a
The caption clearly says, guys, we had a brunch today and the MVP was Karim Tetra. If you don't know, you will know someday, but that's who she is. And that's my rep. Like in the streets, doesn't matter who you are in South Africa, but I just like having a good time with my girl. She was never...
And that's the first thing she saw.
And she's like, this is questionable behavior.
Does play a role. If I'm seeing you for the first time...
Who the fuck are you? What is this?
Certain things.
And I'm your big sister.
That's the first thing I'm just going to...
That's why I don't take a fan.
And I'm going to conclude to say, hey...
Oh, Lucinia.
I didn't see, and I'm also, as the sister to the brother, she's probably thinking, hey, Ana, Mfoaka, easy loss, but she might not have had that one-on-one with him to be like, before Atla went, maybe that was the case. Before Atla went, Atla word that comment, as I forget all Krotman to say, he went to ABC. How does this make you feel? And then if she had done that, maybe Nakamu break it down to say, nah, man, moto ka incident dating or ka that actual clip, uska warakayona.
And he's the one who was saying, Karen, share that video. Because at that point, we're at a very sensitive point in our relationship. And I was very insecure about being the person I was. He's like, I'm secure in who I am in you and what your vision and goal for life is. Yeah. You better share. I was at the point where I wasn't sharing that video. I logged into my Instagram with his phone and he says, you're mad. I'm reposting this for every status share that you have. Literally for the month after that, because at that time I was also in a presenter search. So I needed the traction. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to run your social media. You are ashamed. I'm going to run it for you. You're going to run with this because I know your potential. I know where you're going. This is not a reflection of who you are. But now that you've got the attention, just like Uncle Waffles did with the G-string video that went viral, fly with it.
You probably want to move on, but I have to ask another question.
You can, yeah, you may. You may.
Because I'm sure you're thinking we've been on this topic for a while now. So the other question, you mentioned something in the beginning of this topic. You mentioned someone saying that your boyfriend was a pastor. I think you mentioned something along those lines.
Not really, but he was from a respectable family.
I was about to ask if really he is a pastor.
He's not a pastor. He's just from a very respectable family. At that time, yeah, he's from a very respectable. He's a respectable guy.
True.
Why
am I saying true? I don't know. Yes.
Yeah, but he's from a highway. He's from a very respectable family. He's a guy who doesn't, he knows what he's doing, even when we had his first child, which was my second, it was in marriage, because he knew what he was doing. He was very mindful of what he was doing and what he wanted for his life. So he's always been very intentional. And I believe I speak for every man in the world when I say no man will settle with anything or anyone they feel like is unstable. They need to have seen you at your grief, at your holy grail, at your mid. The man wants to know you for who you really are, because one thing about men, they are not emotional creatures like women. They are about facts. So they're like, I want to see what you like when you're hungry, when you're sad, when you're horny, when you're grieving, when you're sad, when you're excited, when you're mellow. And I need to be sure that I can handle that before I say forever. And that's where I keep it. That's why
Facts. We can't counter that. We can't even add it because you've said everything. Those are facts.
So let me ask you, Karen. How a guy is trying for
he's filing.
he's trying, yeah.
Okay.
What does a woman look for? And generally, I know each person
Has their own nitty gritty.
yes.
I think
There should be similar things that stick out.
I think one thing where women we're different, we also have our own kind of ego as much as men have their own kind of ego. But every woman at the hierarchy, like you see at that little, you know, a hierarchy is like a triangle.
Yeah.
At the pinpoint here, it's security. She needs to know that come what may, I'm safe. Every woman wants to feel safe at the height of, whether it's emotionally, financially, it depends. Because you need to understand that not a lot of people have the grace of healing from their biggest insecurity. And the essence of a lot of relationships which is unhealthy is your ability to be a soother to my biggest pain. And how well you know my biggest pain and how you maneuver.
The top one. And if you had to just break it down to like maybe, let's say the three most important.
She has to feel secure. She has to feel like, because you need to understand that when we are in a solid relationship, if I do not feel secure, I will be the most dramatic person you know. And what men don't understand is that the only woman in your life who doesn't make noise is the one that feels safe in you 100%. So if Lerato is the one who just feels safe and you feel like she's special. No, not really that she's special, but you connect in a way that doesn't trigger her, or you've studied her triggers so well, or you are so familiar with her triggers that you maneuver them with so much respect and grace that she is able to look past them and be what you need her to be, even when whatever emotion is triggering her is not compelling her. But she can be who she can. As women, we are emotional. So
Very.
9 times out of 10, we are driven, and it's embarrassing. We are driven by blind rage. I am unaware of what I am doing. That is why a lot of men feel like a woman can never say sorry, because it's blind rage. I can't be accountable to something I'm not proud of doing.
Ask a question on what you're saying now. And that, security. Do you think guys will give you drama if they have the same thing as well? So if they know you're secure enough that no other man will have you, or you won't go cheating on him, or whatever the case is, do you think it will be like,
But that's the thing. Let's talk about relationships in general. Bros, tell me.
Yeah.
I want you to answer in unison into your mics. 1, 2, 3. In every relationship between the man and the guy, I want you guys to answer immediately. Who is likely to ask to go through the phone? Is it the girl or the boy?
It's the girl.
Thank you. Come. It's not the girl. Because security means more to me than it does to you. And for one reason. If men can understand that I need you to lead, you are the man. You need to, as a woman, I am succumbing to your vision of what we or you want. That is why when we get married, you do not become Mteto. I become Mugale, because I am saying I will forsake everything else I've ever known, and I am succumbing to your vision of what you need to be as a man. So if I am not secure and I do not have my place in your life, I am saying I'm going to invest everything I am and the essence of my being into helping you become what you need to be. But if I'm not sure that you've got me for life, why am I doing this? So you need to understand that if she feels like in the hierarchy, she comes on top. And that is why whether you get married or you're in a committed relationship, the biggest rivalry as a man that you will ever deal with if you're in a committed relationship or you are married, you will always have to deal with the drama, ya mosadi or baby mama leaving a new wife, or the mother or the sisters. It's always the women against each other. Always the women against each other. And all you have to do is place them in a place that they feel safe. That's all.
Even if you can place them there, they will still go on.
That's what I said.
But what I mean is, the way we challenge that security part of it is different. Women might tend to look at phones more than bed.
Only when she doesn't feel safe.
But I'm saying men are more likely to control your movement more than women.
Because we have with more everything that is a controller, it's all up. You know why? We have with the Marilla pair or Gwenza. What I'm saying is that's the same way why a dad, that's the reason why the most strictest man in a woman's life will always be the dad. Because he knows what he was doing when he was there. Sometimes he knows how it operates. He knows how the streets operate. Why would you keep me for something if you don't know how it works? Why would you say to me, that's exactly what you only are triggered if I say, Daddy, can I please go to the club? You're going to say no only because you know what happens at the club. And the fact of your little girl being unsafe or being vulnerable to anything that might hurt her bothers you. So you know what's going on. If you had no, I never ordered no PS or done.
No, I want to know, you're proving a point to women and bullshit. I was about to hold that point.
That's not my point.
So what are you bullshitting? But basically what I'm saying, you control it. We have it. How you clap and Karen? It's not that we don't want you to go to the club.
Actually, say this way. No, the girls feel like it's that way.
But what's that kind of Hoiti likes grabbing ass.
But she doesn't grab the ass. I'm gonna come back and still give you rounds. So what's the big deal?
That's okay. So let me drive my point. Never mind your bullshit. Pop better side.
Let me calm down.
Yes.
Do one of the boys don't.
LSG. Let me hear you. So it's Savannah. I didn't know. Naturally, you don't have the power to overcome LSG enhancements if he enforces himself with you. You understand? So his concern is,
then go.
Yes, Julie. You're not at high guard as much as when I'm there. And I can stop you just because I don't feel like going to the club.
You may. Because guys, in the history of life, whether relationship, whether anything, I can just look salapans and kulu. And then if
does it happen? We're in salapans and kulu.
But that's what I'm trying to say. Why are you in a committed relationship? No, if the essence and the core of the foundation of your relationship, if the only foundationship your girlfriend knows is that
I say
and not the
control emotion comes out.
And it's security. I'm so gonna say a woman. Listen, a woman will. Guys, listen to what I'm saying. The problem is you don't hearing me. If a woman feels safe, she's not problematic. I'm going to relate this. Between the ages of 13 to 19, the most problematic gender are boys because they don't feel safe at home. There's a lot going on. That's because security means more. Women are more upfront, but others aren't. The most problematic thing, if you don't feel safe and well taken care of, because you need to understand that in marriage or in any solid union, a lot is going to come. But if you are not sure of my place in your life, but if
single parent households.
Facts. But what I'm trying to say is, we all will settle or we'll stop or we will not be triggered as much. If I knew that Huithi knows that I am a whore because I got raped at the age of 3 and then again at 7 and at 10. So when I need to trust, I get scared. Once you know and understand who I am at the core, because we all have little closets at the closet that we don't want to talk about, those little skeletons in the closet. If he knows that Okugu has a smart mouth because every time as a child she wanted to speak this whole shut the fuck up, you a kid. If he understands, it might not be a general life big deal, but if you understand how it makes me feel, you maneuver me better. So if we go to your family for Christmas and they say, Gugu Dijan, if Kwiti knows that ish Dijana being made to feel, it makes her feel that way, she can say, Kwiti can say, baby, let's go to the pot, let's go to the kitchen and we'll do them together. You, as Kwiti, are doing what your mother wants, and also you're making Karen feel secure that, no, baby, you're not a slave, but
Malome yena ke mo beile. La mona kwetsi. Ke o le ritse mosadi wa vailano.
one more two, this guy.
Sacrifice ile kapeni. Ba mo sana ba kapeni. Khale re tlo ba mo tshitsitse mpano. Mchana sa.
Then you gotta pick a side. That's where you pick a side, where you like, Ukuku means a lot to me, and I know, because a lot of relationships are falling apart because during pillow talk and during sensitive talk, I tell you what the biggest trigger is. You hear it and you know it, and for every situation in life that comes, I will hold you accountable to that moment. You know how that makes me feel. Why did you not act the same?
I think the problem is communication and how we are wired. We're not necessarily wired to attend to your emotions. You want to attend everything according to your emotions.
Yeah, according to how you believe I should handle it.
Karen, how
I feel or what I know.
Yeah, sometimes I'm not even aware.
Karen, how you going?
Yes, when you're eating.
No, we don't think that the base.
Typical example of what you say, right? I'll speak from experience. I've dated girls and every time mutu atlamona with the problems. Or one, mutu tla o jwetsa go wa itse ko mosebetsing ba so or wa itse chomi ya ka so I've got this problem, wa itse go na le ntho so etsalang. Me as a guy, I'm solution driven.
Yeah.
And then
boys just want to, let's solve this.
I want to solve this. I think you need to do this. Yeah. And then you telling me, I was not asking for an advice though. I was trying to vent. To get more can't set the problem if you don't want to
hear me.
And that's how I operate.
And that's the height of ours.
It's how I am, because as your boyfriend, as Mutuaka, I always want to solve your problems. So if you
sometimes I don't need the solution. I just want you to know why I hate it.
I can't help you. I can't help you with askies.
I want you to understand me, but sometimes that's what I need.
Nah, but I can't.
But that's, if you speak
not that you can't, because there's no inhibitor in your nature that stops you from doing that. You just feel like it's unnecessary. I am your wife. I'm saying, maluma ka on rape le ke na le 7 years old. When I go police station I don't want to break up my family. Because I want you to understand why I don't trust men easily.
Since women are emotional driven, why don't you understand the emotions of men?
Because I understand mine and why I act the way I do. And the problem is, in any universal guide of emotions, if you don't give me the plethora of experience to know you well enough to make judgments that don't need me to consult you as my man, then I can't make that. So what we do as women, to men, it seems unnecessary, but I act carelessly so many times so that you know my limits, my bounds, my extremes, but a man is always so well, because to a man, nothing else matters more than reason and fact. I act out of emotion and impulse because I want you to know what the worst, the good, and the latter is. And a man says, I will always choose what needs to be chosen, regardless of how it makes you feel. And I feel like you're an asshole because you know that hurts me. Why would you choose it? And you're like, no, I'm not. That's why can't say that the feminist. That's why generally people say men are highly likely to do better in business because they go with fact more than emotion.
That's why we are leaders. So now I feel like the world should be square. It's not.
It would rotate nicely if it wasn't circle, baby.
So if a problem, first instant, how do I solve that problem?
But sometimes I don't need you to solve the problem. I just don't want you.
Yeah, but
Go to a shrink.
my instinct is
You're my baby.
solve the problem.
You must know me.
Yes, the way I'm wired is I must solve your problem.
Yeah.
So if I know, okay, G keeps grabbing my ass, my problem is I must go solve G.
Exactly.
So what's the point of you telling me if you don't want me to do anything?
I want you to listen. I want you to hold me and say it's been okay.
No, it's not gonna be okay.
This is what I want.
Tell a friend.
This is what I want. Sorry, baby. Sorry.
Okay, now
better.
if I do that, it's gonna eat me. I'm gonna be depressed.
I don't know that.
My man,
Or you're gonna feel like a simp.
the reason it's gonna eat
We can't say
That's what I need.
they can't say skis. Masabe so bulalo oits.
the reason I'm gonna feel like
Once I got fit.
is because I'm not fulfilling my purpose.
What then?
What's the point of me being your man? You can rather go to your girlfriends and chit chat about that.
Exactly.
You're my man.
To me, if you're coming so I can.
They're gonna say sorry to me. You're gonna get it.
That's the
response.
I'm
That's a definite
not
response.
gonna be your girlfriend. I'm gonna see your man. I'm gonna go solve your shit.
So if I say, which is giving me a hard time, you just want to kill it.
It's just so good.
And that only comes when you really love the girl, because
You want to protect her.
the effect or the natural instinct
It is.
effect only comes when you're winning.
You need to also
It
understand
goes with family too. Like anybody that's a female in my family, there has been an
I'm telling you,
there has been an incident, Kohaye, and I reacted wildly. I was like, okay, fuck it. I'm gonna get my uncle and I'm gonna get, another motherfucker, and we're gonna fish these fuckers, type of thing. They like broke in and we had an idea or a kibomang, kilaban. So there's that thing, you're okay, fuck it, And yes, my mother would be like, oh, Emanyani, you're going too wild. But this is my immediate instinct to say, what? Lekeno go high, lilibumang type of thing,
Yeah.
And because I had an idea or lilibumang, I was like, okay, fine, cool.
Thank you.
I'm fetching my niggas and we're gonna go and fucking sort out. So it's not kiki. Yes, it is also for other women in my life, such as my mother and my sister. But I think men in general have an immediate instinct to react, even in resolving, as opposed to
Around, I see.
stabilizing and making you feel better.
Put it this way, to add on G's point, if Nakafita, let's say in Nachili, LSG, problem is much take gents, I have a problem.
Yeah.
This is what's happening in my relationship. 1, 2, 3. Antoine, I've had something similar. This is how I tackled my shit. Maybe you can try 1, 2, 3. We're not gonna say,
I didn't do it. Exactly.
oh,
We're not gonna be boy.
it's my friend.
But that's how women are.
Immediate to want to resolve to say, okay,
I want to fake like that.
Wait, we comfort each other. Bro, what do you say? No.
It's not relationship.
Not the main, because we comfort each other with fake.
So
I am a soother to your pain. I'm fake.
Oh, come on, and then
You feel like we're fake.
even if it's not related, there's really not. Man, Gaffrey's like a chance. Hey, bang therapy like keep on Antoine.
yeah,
But I tell you,
yeah. I'm not Kenya plasta and be like, it's seeking tuana kia ice.
you know what we say ties up. You know what we are saying ties up with. It ties up with respect, right? For an example, if you're gonna come, if umuntu amne, and then you're gonna say Huituane is doing this and this, and you probably work with Huituane, right?
Okay.
The only thing I'm thinking about is Huituane futa board.
Yeah.
Because Mara, he's still doing the same thing. So so it goes with respect. It's the same thing even if you go to your niggas and say, hey, kunali outing pazamisa and then it ties up with respect. Whenever you need to, for an example, especially if you need to solve moto, it goes with respect. And it is only way to restore that respect that you probably lost. It's the only way. That is the only way that you need to get the respect from that person.
So wait, in that same breath, what do you feel are like your deal breakers in a relationship? Because I'm starting to realize how you guys have, because you need to understand that I feel like one of the biggest controversial things in relationships and between female and male is the fact that we hold different things high in our lives. We are emotional and you are factual. Your fact is he did that. That's wrong, and it hurt you, and I'll fix that. And
You know what's the funny thing? We just as emotion. But now that
but our approaches to life is different. Because mine is I will only do my worst because it hurt.
But no,
You will do your worst because you hurt someone I care about.
no. Well, with us now, we're not going to entertain something that will hurt.
So you will.
So now you see red flags in KG, and you're like, maybe you change.
Yo, you took it to me. I'm just like, maybe I can laugh it out of him.
Now you go into it head first, knowing whatever KG can DJ or atabanyana, but you feel like you can change it. Ne? So KG, when he approaches that situation, Karen, what's weka? Or atabany bashimani. As much as I love him, let me play it for. Because we know at the end it's heartbreak. That's when like we logic driven. So
That's why guys like get hit less.
So now when you answer your question, what's the deal breaker?
Yeah, what are your general deal? Because I want to know that.
Respect.
Oh, that's like a general one. That's every man wants respect.
Man, that love is respect.
That's why I'm like, let's go. I want you to get dirtier because
So a man will know that is his woman. You dress well, you present yourself well, you speak well, you don't entertain other people. Basically, if you at a certain place without me, how do you conduct yourself? And if that's you conduct yourself in a
because you're gonna get the heat of how I behave.
exactly. So if you're twerking, but I cage him, said wow. They're not gonna say, hey, Karen, but the cage him, said wow. No, but never how. So
And that hurts when it's memo. I know how I can imagine how that strips your ego.
You know, for me, with regards to the what was the question again? Deal breakers.
Your deal breakers. And you must extend a lot.
It's the simplest thing, guys, and it's now a big deal for me because of the past experiences. Emotional intelligence.
When I hear Mvana, to be honest,
He's big down. He's like, I want to preach. I don't need anything obstructing my hands. I'm a holder my
Emotional intelligence. And also, I think I once said this when we were speaking offline. When you date someone that you can see this person doesn't have anything to lose, so meaning they'll do anything.
careful with people that have nothing to
Oh my God. I think, if there's one thing that is going to see the kind of person that you deal with is how you need to see how they treat themselves, self-respect. I'm telling you right now that if someone respects themselves that well, they wouldn't embarrass themselves first before you feel embarrassed by whatever the action that they
give him your shift jacket.
right.
He's cooking.
So
Give him back the shift jacket. He's cooking.
if you do not respect yourself, my nigga, you are going to embarrass the shit out of me.
Because I don't give off. I got
Give a shit. And you don't give a shit, you're going to do anything. It's going to be those things. For an example, if we break up and then you start saying, yeah, vele, gini vele by so. Ungazongitshela khumbula ukuthi umalume wakho wenza so. And then, yo. That time, she's thinking that she's embarrassing you and she's embarrassing herself.
Herself.
It's
And you
because
fucked with that. And the niggas are going to love that. Ooh.
the reason why she's going on like that, it's because she has nothing to lose. In her head, she has nothing to lose. She would embarrass herself as long as she is making sure Uti, you're the one who's getting embarrassed with whatever that she's saying. She doesn't give a shit about herself. Dating someone that has nothing to lose.
And no.
Yes.
You just healed one of my biggest flaws. Thank you.
I think what Kahiso said, respect, and yes, respect is an umbrella, It is quite broad. In respect, it just comes, like, that's what I get under respect. I mean, cheating is also disrespectful too.
So it's disrespectful when the women do it, but we understand when you do it.
No. Listen to where I'm going. So, respect as a whole. Guys, I think, just to touch on that, Well, when I know 150s.
Yeah, go sleep.
150s. So you see, the thing is that I think just to get off a bit, we live in a society where women tend to want to do what men do.
Now that's where we are.
So it immediately just fucks with everything. Whatever ki it's when I sort of okay, fine, cool.
Then that creates.
Honestly speaking, yes, not all men cheat. Unfortunately, anything MP is going to be magnified on top. So it's going to be we are going to be all painted with the same brush, unfortunately, on top. So what happens? We're not, as a woman, like Ahisa also mentioned earlier on, na respect yaka. Kore mosadi wa ka o behave jwang, mosadi wa ka o jwang. Nna ke kaya sportong. Kitawe kiwe.
I'm just the G, yeah. The repercussions are not going to come back to you as the woman, okay?
Yeah, they're not going to laugh at you today. Well, now,
but if I do that, yeah, it's a way. Wow, yes,
my girlfriend. It's going to be different.
Okay.
So I think most society we that's where it just gets messed up, and this is why we are at this stage, because we're not also tompa the same way or tanzo on tompekate, or the same way that your grandmother, your great respected.
Would you still stay with me if I shadowed myself?
Fuck no.
In public.
Yeah, I know that goes with fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
So just to get back to what I was also just saying, fella, to say, because you are my dignity, but at the same time, you are trying to match me as a woman. And that's where the disrespect now comes in. To say, mang or autia or bonieta ABC. Oh, fine. Because
who the fuck does he think he is? Okay.
One. So
okay, you guys are like shedding a lot of light in terms of like, you need to understand that as women, as women and men, we perceive things and we're respectable because of different themes or whatever. Because if as a woman, if your man encompasses you, he saves you, he can protect you holistically, he's amazing. But as a man, if she's respectable, carries herself in a certain way, is exclusive and has no, got a trophy, a lot of fingerprints. That's
yeah.
And if I feel like we just need to understand, there's what matters to you and me.
There's this saying that women are born with value. Then men have to acquire the value. They're born worthless and have to acquire that value. So the more you want to be a man, that's the more you lose value. Because there was this thing in psychology, it matters not what hierarchy or status you are in society. The moment a woman gets pregnant, she loses value. That drops. You can be a CEO or a president. That's why you find most women that are career-driven. Either they're childless or they just have one child. Because the more they get pregnant, the more they drop on the social ladder. So it makes sense why sometimes women want to go for a man that's up the ladder. Because they have more to lose. You understand? But now, if I'm siding over to computer as Munda, remember, I look at it as like a yin-yang.
Yeah.
We have to complement and complete each other. So if we're not over whatever you can do, I can do.
Yeah.
What's the point of me having you?
I'm not trying to have one of my boys.
Exactly.
I understand that. But
I would have been just married one of my boys if I wanted to have a competitor.
One thing you must understand is your strengths. I can never compete.
And why am I trying to compete at you at the heights of your... Okay.
In case you are fair. Yes, it might hurt, but you're devaluing yourself.
Yeah, practically.
You understand? That's why whenever we can accommodate you when you guys get all emotional and all that, we understand it's the package you come with. You understand? You guys must understand, well, sometimes when I go with my problems, I'm not going to cry with you.
But I know that.
Just do this. What you need and what you must get They're two different things. If I need money, Karen, and you leave me because I don't have the money, I will understand.
True.
It will hurt, but I will understand.
Mm-hmm.
Understand? So what you must understand, sometimes I'm not going to accommodate everything that you want. And I think that's where feminism is heading to. Women only want the nice part of being a man, which most of the time is like being
promiscuous and having the power.
What they must understand, it's only a small percentage that acquire. Like even Batuba Feba,